Hello students, welcome back to the topic sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Today in this video, that is lecture 11, we are going to discuss about pollen pistil interaction. So what is pollen pistil interaction? After the process of the pollination, that is the transfer of the pollen grain, how the pollen grain develops a pollen tube and how there is a entry of the pollen tube till the egg apparatus and the release of the gametes. If we study all these sequential events, then it is called pollen pistil interaction. So after the pollination, in many of the flowers the stigma may become wet, and if it becomes wet or glandular, it is going to nourish the pollen grain and will make the pollen grain to develop a pollen tube. So the nectar which is produced will be rich with the proteins, rich with amino acids, lipids, and with that the pollen tube will be developed. In case of dry stigma, there will be cutin, and though there is a cutin, the stigma also will produce a fluid which will be rich with protein, carbohydrates and lipids, with which the intine comes out in the form of pollen tube. Now, pollen grain which is compatible only will develop on the stigmatic surface. The pollen grain which is incompatible will be not allowed to develop into pollen tube. What is the meaning of compatibility and incompatibility? Let's try to understand. Flower is having a capacity of accepting and rejecting the same and different type of the pollen grains. If the pollen grains is of different family plant, then the plant is going to not to secrete the nectar, thereby there will be no growth of the pollen tube. If the pollen grain is of a same species of the plants but of a different plant, that is of cross pollinated, then the stigma is going to become receptive and is going to secrete the nectar, thereby pollen grain can develop into pollen tube. Let us try to understand about the incompatibility is classified as two types, interspecific and intraspecific. That is, between two different species there is incompatibility. The flower will not accept the pollen grain. Sometime if it is of same plant pollen grain, to avoid self pollination, the plant will not accept the pollen grain. So it is called self incompatibility. So what is self incompatibility, students? If the plant is having capacity of accepting or rejecting the right and wrong type of the pollen grain, of the same species of the plants, of a self-pollinating type of pollen grain, then it is called self-incompatibility. It is also called self-sterility. So there will be a formation of callose plug with which there will be no development of the pollen tube. So this is a stigma which has received a pollen grain. Now see here, pollen grain has developed a pollen tube, and the nucleus, like vegetative and generative nucleus, will enter into the pollen tube through the germ pore. All the events from the deposition of the pollen grain onto the stigma till the fusion of the gametes are called as pollen pistil interaction. See, till the entry of the pollen tube into the ovule are called pollen pistil interaction. It's a dynamic process. So pollen recognition, rejection, promotion, inhibition of the germination are said to be the pollen pistil interaction. So this is a flower. These are three types of flowers which are given here. So try to observe carefully. These two belong to the same species, species 1, species 2, where species 1, species 1, whereas this flower belongs to species 2. So what happens? Cross pollination happens by a chance. See, try to observe. The species 1 pollen grain got deposit. Now species 2 has got deposit. Species 1 again, species 2 again. So like this, there will be the deposition of what takes place, students? Pollen grain through any of the agency, can be through the wind, can be through the water, or can be through the insect. Now what happens, this flower which has received the pollen grain from both the plant will have a capacity of accepting and rejecting the pollen grain. Now these two flowers are of a same species, so the pollen grain which are red in color are going to get accepted by the plant, whereas this flower belongs to different species, so it is a wrong plant, so blue colored pollen grains will be not accepted. So what happens, pistil is going to accept right type of the pollen grain and will allow the right type of pollen grain to develop into pollen tube, and the wrong type of the pollen grain will be rejected by preventing its germination of the pollen tube onto the stigma or growth of pollen tube into the style. All these events which are taking place are collectively called as pollen pistil interaction. So right type of the pollen grains are said to be compatible and the wrong types of pollen grain are said to be incompatible. So now right type of pollen grains which have got deposit onto the stigmatic surface, they germinate on the stigma, they develop a pollen tube. Okay, and the pollen tube will have a tube nucleus and two male gametes, as we have discussed in the first year morphology of the flowering plants. Two male gametes will be produced by generative cell by undergoing mitosis. So these are the different type of the pollen grains, and this is a pollen tube. So let us try to understand. There are pollen grains of pollen 1 type of plant, pollen 2 type of plant, pollen 3 type of a plant. So which one is said to be a right type of a pollen grain? Third one. It is said to be the second one. It's said to be right type of the pollen grain. So ability of the pistil to recognize the pollen is due to certain chemical present in pollen grain which interact with those of the pistil, and there will be development of pollen tube. So we have understood the process of this pollination and the different compatibility and incompatibility methods, and we have started doing plant hybridization experiments. So botanists identify pollen and pistil components. Pollen pistil interaction is studied, and which leads to the recognition of right type of the pollen grain or rejection of the wrong type of the pollen grain. So pollen pistil interaction contains the following events like germination of the pollen grain or pollen tube growth, entry of the pollen tube into the ovule, entry of pollen tube into embryo sac, and that leads to double fertilization. A person by name Navasheen became a first person to explain, and even Strasburger has explained the process in the plants like Fritillaria. After pollination on the stigma, what happens? So pollen grain, once it gets deposit onto the stigmatic surface, it will be two celled, as we have understood. One is a generative cell and the other one is a vegetative cell. Say the pollen grain is compatible to the stigma, so stigma is going to produce a sugary secretion that is absorbed by the pollen grain, and the pollen tube will come out from the intine. Intine comes out in the form of the pollen tube. Okay, so there will be a pressure created. That pressure will make the intine to come out. A protrusion takes place, that is called as a pollen tube. Through the pollen tube, the two nuclei like vegetative nuclei and generative nuclei will enter. The tube nucleus, cytoplasm, generative cell all move into the tube, pollen tube. The pollen tube is stiffened due to the callus deposition, and it will start growing towards the ovule due to a process called chemotaxis. So from the style, through the style, the pollen tube will make its entry. So tube nucleus and generative nucleus will be present in the pollen tube. Now what happens? The generative nucleus which is there, that is going to divide itself into two nuclei which are called as male gametes, and the tube nucleus will nourish the developing gametes. So pollen tube will make its entry into the style. Male gametophyte is said to be a pollen grain. Now let's try to understand entry of pollen tube into ovule. The pollen tube which has grown from the intine part of the pollen grain can make its entry into the ovule in three different ways. It can enter into the ovule through the micropyle, through the filiform apparatus of the synergid. If the pollen tube is making its entry through the filiform apparatus, then it is called porogamy. So that we are going to understand, the two male gametes will be released into the embryo sac. Now the pollen grain germinates on the stigma into pollen tube. The pollen tube will make its entry into the ovule. See here, the pollen tube is growing and two male gametes are there in the pollen tube. A thin cytoplasm will be there in the pollen tube. A degenerating tube nucleus also can be seen. Growth of pollen tube occurs at the tip where most of the cytoplasm will be concentrated. The tip region of the pollen tube will be growing. So these are the different labelings, students. Entry of the pollen tube can occur in three different ways. That is through micropyle. If the pollen tube enters, then it is called porogamy. If the pollen tube makes its entry through the integuments, then it is called mesogamy. If the pollen tube enters through the chalaza, see the picture, then it is called chalazogamy. But most of the time pollen tube will make its entry through the micropyle. Let us try to see LS of the pistil showing the path of the pollen tube. See here, this is the LS of the pistil and one of the pollen grain has developed into pollen tube and the pollen tube is entering, correct, through the micropyle. So region opposite to micropyle contains antipodals, and opposite to antipodals or micropyle, near micropyle, synergids will be there, and the egg cell is also present making egg apparatus. Central cell is called polar nuclei and this is pink colored one is called pollen tube. Now let us try to understand entry of the pollen tube into the embryo sac. Through porogamy, three alternative methods are there. Laterally through narrow space between the egg cell and the wall of the embryo sac. Between the egg cell and wall of the embryo sac, the pollen tube can enter, or the pollen tube can enter through the space between the egg and the synergid, or it can make its entry right through the synergid. So by any of these three alternative method, the pollen tube will make its entry. If the pollen tube is moving through the synergid, then the filiform apparatus will play a major role. They are going to direct pollen tube towards the egg. Pollen tube develop a pore to discharge its content and the synergid starts degenerating. So this is enlarged view of an egg apparatus showing entry of the pollen tube through the synergid. So can you see, students, this is a pollen tube and these are the synergid filiform apparatus, and this is a central cell, this is egg nucleus, and this is a synergid, and here is a the plasma membrane, and this is the filiform apparatus, and this is a pollen tube containing tube nucleus and the gametes, male gametes. So this is an enlarged view of the pollen tube. So in this video we discussed about pollen pistil interactions, whereas in the next video we are going to discuss about double fertilization and its significance. Hope the contents of the video are clear to you, students. Thank you.